I know you've got earnings coming up next week, so there's only so much you can say about your earnings or about your, about your company's factors. But I think about a title like Grand Theft Auto, which I feel like I've grown up with this title because of all of its iterations over the last decade or so, or more. When you see a success like that, it's both great, but also, sort of fearful, right, or worrying, because how do you follow up with that, right?
Well, look, I think that's a challenge for anyone in the entertainment business. We always have to delight consumers over and over and over again. In the case of Take-Two, we seek to bring an array of hit intellectual property to our customers. So Grand Theft Auto is a standard bearer for the industry, not just for our company. We also have Red Dead Redemption, Borderlands, BioShock, NBA, WWE, Civilization, and many other hit titles. And coming up February 10th, I see it's on your screen. We have Evolve coming. This is a new title for which we have very high hopes. So our job is to continue to deliver over and over again wonderful properties based on franchises we've already developed, and every year we hope to develop new hit franchises.
Well, and I ask this of studio heads because, in a way, you have sort of the same issues here, right? Is that you put a lot of money into this content, and you don't know whether or not it really is going to hit. You, of course, hope it's going to. So, what does it take now to make sure you have a hit title versus 5 years ago?
The challenges always get greater because as new platforms, and currently there are 2 new platforms out in the marketplace, PS4 and Xbox One, as they enable our creative folks to push more limits, the consumers want us to push those very limits. And more our properties look like live action. If you play our basketball game, NBA 2K, and just squint your eyes a little bit, you maybe don't even have to. It looks like a real basketball game.
Yeah.
And that means we have to focus on physics and the way people move. And our consumers will notice, tiny incremental lapses and tiny incremental gains. Our job, of course, is always to delight them and over-deliver against their expectations.
Do you find that the younger consumers are getting more and more critical?
I think consumers are getting more critical all the time. There was that great, what was that, Cy Sims line, an educated consumer is our best customer.
Right.
The days of the internet, all consumers are educated, and they should be.
So next gen is what? Next generation of video gaming will be what?
Well, after this current one, we're just beginning now. And while you saw a teeny sales decline, what we're really seeing is the decline, the expected decline of the last generation that is beginning to be offset and will be meaningfully offset by the massive growth of this new generation, which looks to be very successful. And while I can't predict how long this generation is going to last, certainly seems like it'll be 4 to 8 years. What will come after that remains to be seen. But more technological advances. If you believe in Moore's Law, and I do, a lot more technological
Well, much
advances.
has been made about video games on 4K displays, right? I mean, that was a big part of CES. What do you make of that?
Look, right now our displays can do more than we can do, right? And that's true of the motion picture and television business as well. So it's hard to know. For example, we have 3D technology, and pretty much what we do is still 2D, and that works for consumers. So I think so far we haven't figured out how to push the limits of available displays.
Why is that, though? Why is that?
Because the ability to render our graphics in even a more high definition means is limited by other processing power limitations. So the fact that displays are getting more and more interesting, 3D displays, for example, headsets, which I've talked about here before at Bloomberg, that just creates more opportunity for us. But some of it's hard to know yet what it'll be.
Is it also cost, though? It just costs more to reinvest or to invest in that new technology?
Our costs have been relatively stable generation over generation because there are other efficiencies that we found in this generation. But you were right, it's expensive to make the best interactive entertainment properties in the business.